Hey everybody, welcome to the Average Day Studios Artist Spotlight. I'm Marty Usery, and today I've got a really special spotlight. I've got Carson Hill here for you, and she comes out of Nashville, which is a place that's near and dear to my heart and pretty close to home. So why don't we get started?
Hey everybody, my name is Carson Hill. Thank you, Marty, for having me on your Average Day Studios Artist Spotlight on Vero. How did it come to this? We used to talk every day, now there's not much to say. How do we get like this? One second you're in my...
All right, well here we are, and we all know what my first question always is. It's who are your influences? And I'm especially intrigued with Carson because I can tell there's an eclectic style and different uses of chord progressions and things that are very interesting to me. And I'd like to know where that came from. So Carson, let us know.
How much time do you have? Because I have quite a few. I grew up, my mom was a school teacher, so we listened to music on the way to school. I grew up listening to Garth Brooks, John Mellencamp, Steve Miller Band, and I came up in the Taylor Swift boom like most girls in their 20s did. So I didn't fully understand the concept of being an artist and a songwriter until I started listening to her, and then it started to kind of make sense to me. But now I listen to a lot of John Mayer, Willie Nelson, Willie Nelson's son, Lucas Nelson, and The Promise of the Real. I'm big on female artists like Sheryl Crow, Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac, Hayley Williams from Paramore. Those are just like some of them. I listen to all kinds of music though, so it's kind of hard to pick. I feel like every genre is, full of influence.
Carson, I know how you feel. It's easy to have a whole lot of different influences, and I think the more that you can draw from, the more original that your music is. So that was really cool. Well, my next question for Carson was what drew her to Nashville? Because as I said, I live about an hour outside of Nashville myself and have played all through the city and the surrounding area and visit all the time and catch shows at the Ryman and different places. And I love Nashville, and I'm curious to know what brought her there. So
I've never been asked that before. I'm originally from North Carolina. I visited Nashville for the first time when I was 11 years old. And I fell in love with the city because it's beautiful, for one thing. And there's so much history downtown. Like, I am a huge old country music fan. So the fact that you can walk downtown and you see, like, some historical landmarks where, like, songs are written and you have the Ryman and there's just so much history. And I love that. And the fact that it is a town filled with people who understand your passion. They care about songs. They care about the craft that goes on behind making music. It's just when people understand something you love so much, it's kind of a natural instinct. You just want to be there. You want to be around people who get your love for something. And that's kind of what Nashville is to me. And it's just good old Southern hospitality. So, yeah.
as with anything else, every songwriter is different. Everybody has a different method. They like to co-write, or they write by themselves, or it takes 10 years to finish a song, or you write one in 15 minutes. And it's very personal and different with every person. So that is something that I asked Carson, and here's the answer that she gave me.
So when I moved to Nashville, I kind of realized I have a little bit different writing style than some people do. I've always written alone. So I'm just kind of a whenever inspiration strikes. Like, I don't have a set schedule. I don't try to write every day. Obviously I want to, but I don't make it a have to do. I make it a want to do. And so I'll just either get like a melody or some lyrics in my head, or I'll be sitting and playing my guitar and just spew out random stuff until I come up with something I like. And then normally once I get something, if it's like really flowing, I'll just go on and finish it. Like, I hardly have co-writes just because I end up finishing it before I can even sit down with somebody else. But yeah, it's just kind of a here and there writing thing. It's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, I mostly use my voice memos.
Well, one thing I know about Nashville is that it is a super competitive environment. There's thousands of singer-songwriters. You could throw a rock and hit somebody that plays the guitar. So I asked Carson what was her strategy for the future. What's going to get her out in front and above a lot of those people and help her to really get out there and be the next big thing.
I love that question. Does anybody really have a strategy? Because if so, I would love to talk to them. Obviously, I want to hit it big. I think everybody in Nashville does. That's the ultimate dream. But I've always said if I could tour and make a living playing music, I'd be set. I'd be happy. It doesn't even have to be a decent living. And I've pretty much been doing that for the last year. I've booked a lot of shows all over the U.S. and if I could just continue to keep doing that, I'm pretty good. But as far as growth, I think as an artist, I'm a studier of songs and of other artists and their craft, and just listening to a song and asking myself, why does it make me feel this way? What is it about this song? And how can I incorporate that and put it in one of my songs to make somebody else feel like that? And I think when you're constantly learning from other artists and their music and trying to use the stuff you learn from them and make yourself even better, then you're constantly growing. So that's kind of been my strategy. Basically, I'm winging it. I don't know what I'm doing. I think that's half of the artists out there, though, so I feel pretty good about that.
I usually ask the artist to play me my favorite song, just a stripped down live version. But I couldn't decide what my favorite song was, so I did something I never do, and I actually introed the spotlight with one of her songs, which is What Happened to Us, which I really like. She's going to do Willie live for me because I guess that's my favorite, but I'll have to squeeze in another song or two throughout this, but listen to her do this live. It's great.
I'm going to do a song off of my new EP that I wrote for Willie Nelson. Since we were talking about big influences and storytelling, why not? So yeah, this is called Willie. These hills, they keep on going. Oh, these wheels keep on rolling. Oh, this highway, it goes on for miles. If I had it my way, I wouldn't stop till I die. 'Cause if you're tied down, just cut all your ties. I'm not Willie, I don't get stone beats on me. Follow where the wind blows, and this road in front of me is where I'm supposed to be. Living like a gypsy. Truck stops, there's a lot of them. Oh, postcards, yeah, we got 'em. New things, places we've never seen. It's crazy to think all this from one little dream. We'll see you next time we wave goodbye.
As many of you know already, Carson just came out with a new EP called The Heart of a Songwriter. Came out a couple of weeks ago. And one of the cool things about doing the spotlight is she sent it to me a little bit before everyone else got to hear it. And it was awesome. It really blew me away. So my question to you, Carson, my last question to you is, if there's one thing that you're excited for people to hear about that EP, what is it?
I'm really excited for people to hear the stories on this EP because when I got into songwriting, that's what I fell in love with. I fell in love with the storytelling. And some of these songs are 5 years old, and some of them were written within the last year. And so I feel like I've gotten a good collection of stories that just really speak to me, and hopefully they'll speak to other people. So I'm really excited for everybody to hear the new music. And thank you so much for having me on your Artist Spotlight. This has been so much fun, and thank you, Marty.
Well, that about wraps it up. I had a great time doing this. And as always, thank you so much for watching and for sharing. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Carson, for letting me do this. It's been an extreme pleasure, and I wish you the best in the future. I've got one more spotlight coming up. It's going to be the Halloween special, and I've got a great band lined up, but also I've got some surprises and some extra special guests that are going to be on it, so I think you'll really enjoy it. I was going to do my own spotlight, but I just don't think I'm going to have time to squeeze it in, so I think I'll do it after the Halloween special, which that'll be the last one of the season. You know, with the holidays and things coming up, I'm just not going to have time to do these, so maybe starting next year, number one will be me, possibly. So if you got ideas or things you want to hear about, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you at Halloween. Woo!
Time after time